Hello and welcome to Kung Fu Cabinet Episode 5. I'm your host, Kung Fu. In this episode we'll review The Big Boss, directed by Lo Wei, also known as William Lo, starring Bruce Lee, Maria Yi, and James Tien, with fight instructor Han Ying Che. Take the phone off the hook, Kung Fu fans. Grab the popcorn and Mountain Dew because everyone is Kung Fu fighting tonight. This is the real deal, not like your plastic snap-on gold cap tooth. What I'm Kung Fu talking about is Bruce frickin' Kung Fu Master Lee. The Big Boss is literally a Kung Fu movie turning point in Kung Fu movie history. This movie reminds me of Clint Eastwood's Pale Rider meets Scooby-Dooby-Doo. This movie has groovy 1970s Thailand scenery. It has thugs, murderers, bad guys, and bad girls, if you know what I mean. You've got good guys, funny guys, hero dudes, and one sweet, innocent, delicate damsel in distress. No sign of the Kung Fu Cabinet's favorite Kung Fu movie character, the slutty two-timing can't trust them as far as you could throw them Kung Fu movie villain woman. But we do have many of Thailand's ladies of the night. Kung Fu, yeah. The Big Boss story goes like this. Bruce plays Chien, a Chinese city boy who has problems with fighting and getting into trouble, so his worried family sends him to Thailand country to stay and work with his uncle and cousins. Before he leaves, his family makes Chien wear a treasured charm necklace as a promise to stay away from violence. Chien is unknowingly thrust into a small village run by a violent drug lord, posing as the owner of an industrious ice house factory, which he secretly uses to ship his evil drugs. It doesn't take long before Chien draws the attention of the drug lord's thugs and is eventually searching for revenge and sweet justice. And how do we love revenge and sweet justice served in the Kung Fu Cabinet? Kung Fu style. Let's check it out.
Just a bit impulsive, so don't be mad.
I'm not mad at them. They just don't understand, that's the trouble.
I had an idea you'd be snooping around. Father told you to mind your own business. Now I know the whole story. Listen, buddy, you're not going anywhere. So you know. So what? You're headed for the freezer.
This 1971 release is Bruce Lee's first major motion picture and was a major hit for the director Lo Wei. Initially directed by Ngar Sung and starring the movie's co-star James Tien, Ngar Sung was unexpectedly replaced and so was the movie's star, putting into motion kung fu history by casting Bruce Lee in the starring role. Not bad for Hong Kong's Cha-Cha champion. James Tien stayed on board and showed up in Bruce's other movies, Fist of Fury and The Game of Death. Had Bruce never been put in the starring role, kung fu movies wouldn't be what they are today. The Big Boss director and producer Lo Wei also saw his career turn for the better as he continued his producing, directing, acting, and writing career after Bruce Lee's death in '73. He even hooked up with the Shaw brothers and became the launching force behind the career of martial arts superstar Jackie Chan. There's some confusion about the name of this movie. The Big Boss, a story involving drug trafficking, was supposed to be named The Chinese Connection, similar to another popular drug trafficking film at the time, The French Connection, and Lee's second movie, Fist of Fury, about avenging his teacher's death, was to be named Fists of Fury. But as fate and some knucklehead studio exec would have it, Lee's first movie, The Big Boss, was released to America as Fists of Fury, and Lee's second movie was released as The Chinese Connection. Confused? Let me break it down. So the first movie was named The Big Boss and was supposed to change to The Chinese Connection. The second movie was named Fist of Fury and was supposed to change to Fists of Fury. But the first movie was changed to Fists of Fury, and Fists of Fury was changed to The Chinese Connection. Capiche? Forget about it. Just remember, when looking for this movie, read the movie description to make sure you have the right movie. The movie about drug trafficking, which is the first movie released in '71, is titled either The Big Boss, The Chinese Connection, or Fists of Fury. The second movie about avenging his teacher's death, released in '72, is titled either Fist of Fury or The Chinese Connection. Enough already. Okay, this is good old Kung Fu fun, which I like to call Kung Fun. The Big Boss runs approximately 100 minutes, depending on the version you watch, and I consider it a Kung Fu movie for the advanced beginner Kung Fu movie fan. On Kung Fu scale of Kung Fu, I give it an 8. A 1 is not even a Fu, and a 10, a Kung Fu Pow. That's it for this episode of Kung Fu Cabinet. Keep an eye out for more episodes, and we'll see you in the Kung Fu Cabinet. Thank you.